Goa. And as always, on a Tuesday, I'm joined by the Honourable Mr. ARNHIM EUSTACE, who's here with us in studio as always on a Tuesday. It's a pleasure. So let me just jump straight right in and say good morning, Mr. EUSTACE, and Happy New Year.
Good morning, Colin, and Happy New Year to you also.
Thank you.
It was a fairly long season, and I haven't heard much about what the expenditures were in the private sector, and I'm looking forward to hear something on that. I don't think it was as bright as some other years, and I'm happy that the year has started out with an issue which has been dealt with our courts, by our courts. The statement and the decision by Justice Esco Henry in relation to the promotion of public servants, or the failure to promote public servants, and the statements he made about the Public Service Commission and its role, and the discrimination against people who are competent and in the public service a long time, who have trained the people in the public service, only to see them get promotion above them. It's a terrible thing. You know? People work hard. They qualify themselves. They get the relevant training. And then the government, a Public Service Commission, promotes some of the people who they trained above them. That is why the judge was so harsh in his comments about the public service. That they failed, and the Public Service Commission failed to do what they should do. They played politics all the way with the government. That's what they did. That is why they could promote people who did not deserve to be promoted. And I'm really pleased with the decision of the judge and what he said about the Public Service Commission itself, which is headed by a lawyer here, you know, who should know better. Blazer Williams. That's the kind of discrimination on political grounds. That's what it is. You promote people who are trained by some of these same people above them. That can't be right. That can't be in accordance with Public Service Commission regulations. And references made to that. And they have to clean up that act. There's no question about that. Justice Esco Henry declared that the Public Service Commission, I'm quoting, has failed to observe principles of fairness, transparency, and objectivity in exercising its function under Regulation 19 of the Public Service Commission regulations in respect to promotion of the 5 officers. The Public Service Commission has failed to observe principles of fairness, transparency, and objectivity in exercising its function under Regulation 19 of the Public Service Commission. You want anything clearer than that? It can't be any clearer. The judge ordered the PSC, Public Service Commission, to establish and implement forthwith and maintain efficient, transparent, and effective performance and appraisal promotion regime within the public service, including robust and functional monitoring of the mechanisms and the stipulations of the Public Service Commission regulations. You want anything clearer than that? You imagine you're trained, highly trained in the field. You, in your job, you also train some of the officers who have to carry out the functions. And you are left standing in your job, and the officers you trained are promoted above you. Not that you weren't qualified, you know. You're well qualified, because you trained the officers, and some of those officers an hour ahead of you. That can't be right. There's no way that could be right. Because the people are still working. Who did the training? They took a train you and you get the post. Why they couldn't get a post? Why they couldn't get a promotion? It is so unfair. It is so unfair. You know, I saw a lot of comment on this over the season by different commentators and so on. You know, and it's difficult to accept that happened and that the Public Service Commission did that. You know, a lot of people have forgotten about it, you know. You know the government, this government, had established NSDEC. People are not talking about NSDEC anymore, you know. Well, invited people to serve on a committee. National Social and Economic Council. Including the NDP was invited to serve on that when I was with the NDP. I said, no way, the NDP will serve on the National Social and Economic Council because the ULP will do what they want and promote who they want. It will make no difference. And I warned some of the unions, including the Public Service Union, to watch out, don't have anything to do with NSDEC. Because they won't work in the interests of the public service. I had several discussions with members of the public service at senior levels in the union. I said, NDP not going. You as a union shouldn't go either. Because they will do what they want and promote the people they want. And that is what has happened. And that is where the court has intervened. Remember with the teachers who are NDP? They said the union had an agreement outside this NSDEC thing, the union agreement. And the teachers were able to enter politics.
Right, and they were supposed to get back their jobs after.
And you know what the government said? It was aspirational, the agreement was aspirational. They didn't really have any meeting, there was no commitment to it. And those teachers lost their jobs. And had to fight for a long time. And still in a disadvantaged position. Some have gone on to other institutions, not necessarily the level that they were, and so forth. So it's a really worthless thing that was done by this government. They had no interest in the persons because of their politics, or they perceived what their politics to be. Or the union agreement with teachers had was aspirational. It only aspired to do certain things. They didn't have to do them. We must be just in this world. But I'm glad that the judge has ruled.
This is a clear message of party politics.
Yes.
And not national development.
Oh, yeah.
So it is a clear indication, excuse me, so this is a clear indication here. There is no real interest here in putting the right people in the right places for the development of this country, but plain politics.
That's how it is.
All right. And that's a good first indicator. Well, it's not to say that we didn't know all of this was happening and going on, but now it makes it even harder for them now to deny.
Yes,
that they can't deny this. That this is what they have been doing for years.
Yes.
Depriving many Vincentians, regardless of their political support,
of their basic rights.
Exactly. Now the question is, like I asked it here, when we cut through that cloud, that shade that they try to always put in front of us, like you just did, Mr. Eustace, and you cut that cloud and you show it exactly, and just what the judge did, and we show it exactly for what it is how long are we going to continue to accept this type of behavior, this style of governing and politics in our country? And we're in 2019 now.
I want to read back something from the judge. the judge ordered the Public Service Commission to establish and implement further forthwith and maintain an efficient, transparent, and effective performance and appraisal promotion regime. What they say in the PSC, he ain't doing what they're supposed to do.
And now it's been ordered by the court
To do it.
And what if they go contrary to that?
That's it. They're ordered by the court to do it. And they say in the court, they tell them which regulations they have to look at and so on again.
Can you believe this?
Even the way they advertise vacancies and all that, the court ordered them to deal with. You know, I was right on NASDAQ. From the time I heard about NASDAQ, I said, well, NDP ain't getting into that.
A wise choice
then.
then.
The NDP at the time. So that ain't going to work. NDP will always get in trouble inside of that.
And you saw this coming?
Yeah, I saw it coming. I knew that they will use their politics to deprive a lot of people of their rights for promotion. And what they're going to do to NDP people? They're going to mash them up. So
And these are some...
I say NDP is not going to be a member of NASDAQ.
And this is the same people that they're supposed to be looking out for.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a shame how the unions in this country are operating. And it has to be worrying for many persons underneath the unions who are supposed to be represented by these unions.
Yeah. But they also deal with those persons who are relatives and so on, who they want to help out, whether they fit the post or not. How we deal with that?
I saw an article on the I think it's on the front page of the Searchlight newspaper online. More action. Are the unions really going to take more action in this country, or should they take more action in this country?
Well, it should be feel strengthened by the decision of the court. The court has come out straight and plain. What you all have been doing are wrong to the union. Correct it. That's what the court is saying now. Correct it. It can't stay so.
How many different fields here of workers you think are being affected by this?
Well, all fields. Even non-PSC workers. Because the same happens with the road gangs, you know. If you're in a party,
so
you're getting road work.
So this affects almost everybody.
Everything. I mean, they have not to do the PSC and so on. But the principle that they use is they kept out those persons for their own political reasons. Because they didn't like who they support.
So this is all about...
That's with the road gangs too.
So this is all about keeping their support.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Now we're hearing promotions in the police force. Yeah. How you look at all of this?
The same way.
All right. So when I say again, people need to open their eyes and look through the fluffy clouds that are being presented in front of us. Hence the reason why we could say that 2019, right, has started off an interesting year, because there are a lot of things being said and a lot of things that are being done. And if we look carefully and pay attention carefully, we will see just what is happening and going on here.
Notice, some people are waking up, you know. And the police case is a good one. Some people are waking up.
So you said somebody whispered to me, right? And asked me to ask if these promotions within the police force includes or excludes auxiliary officers. Because it seems, and I'm going to ask the question here, it seems it's possible, could it be, that not one single auxiliary police officer was promoted, and some persons are asking if auxiliary police and police as well?
Oh, I don't have the detail on that.
So
I'll inquire into that.
Well, I looking into it to myself. I'm looking into it to myself because But there are clearly persons like you and that have been in positions, and the same judgment, if you read it, it gives some examples there of some persons who were in positions for an extended period of time and jumped from particular grade.
Yeah.
So whether it's grade 2 or grade 3 to a grade 7 in the space of no time.
Yeah, that is their politics. That's the ULP politics. It has nothing to do with principle. It has nothing to do with what is right. And remember, just a couple of years ago, we did a reclassification exercise, which was very expensive, which looked at all the jobs in the public service. And there was a lot of boasting by the government. Look, some people get promotion and so on. They get more money because of the reclassification exercise. But they're only interested in befriending those who are their friends politically.
So when some can go on a platform and say NDP people must suffer and die, if you're even perceived, possibly, of being an NDP supporter in this country, chances are
crap a smoky pipe.
Straight talk.
Yeah.
And that, do you believe, is the fear that they have been instilling in persons in this country, why there are many persons who are afraid to stand up and speak up?
People can't, but they work.
And
they have their families to support.
And how long are they going to continue to feel that way?
Yeah.
I like when Dr. Friday speaks, and he always speaks of hope.
Yeah, you have to be hopeful, but at the same time, you have to be very, very, very realistic. And accept in many cases what you're going to see is the worst, and be prepared to deal with it. Now we have some decisions of the court that will help us to deal with this matter. We must take advantage of the opportunity that's been given by the court to make sure we minimize and even eliminate in some cases what has been happening. And as I said before, don't bother but whether the road work or any other work. The point is this: you must not use politics as a basis to make those decisions.
Could this be the little beacon of light that Vincentians need to come out, to stand up in support that look?
It depends on how we use it. It has been handed to us now.
Because
the judge ordered the PSC to establish and implement forthwith and maintain an efficient, transparent, and effective performance appraisal system.